Yes, good morning, students. Continuation with the previous class. That is, in the previous class, we have studied about bridges and LAN switches. So, where we have studied about what you mean by an extended LAN, that is a collection of LANs connected by one or more bridges, usually say to form an extended LAN. Where we have studied about the illustration of learning the bridges, how the bridge is going to forward the frames from one port to the another port. Is it clear? So all these things we have been studied it in the previous class. So the main limitation of the bridges also we have been studied that that is the issue of scalable and heterogeneity. So bridges are going to forward all the broadcast frames while it is reasonable for all the hosts within a limited the setting, okay, to see each other's broadcast messages. So these are all the limitations which we have been seen it in the previous class. Now we are going to start with the next one, that is a spanning tree algorithm. So here we are going to viewing this particular network as a the graph. Is it clear? Here we are going to view this particular network as a the graph. So in this example you just see it here, the that is the first one you are going to seeing it as a cyclic graph will be there. So this is all the this particular the nodes are going to be interconnected with each other. Is it clear? So this is the cycles are there in this particular graph. You are viewing this particular network as a the graph. So what happens if the network is going to be interconnected as a graph, that is that is going to form the loops or the cycles. Okay, so when the loops or cycles are going to be formed, the frame is going to be circulated there only. Okay, so for that the question is going to be raised, how you have to remove the cycles, that even though you have to connect all the vertices. Is it clear? You have to connect all the vertices, but there should not be any cycles. Is it clear? We have to connect all the vertices, but should not be any particular the cycles. So this one can be implemented with the help of a one algorithm called as the spanning tree algorithm. You just see it here, the same the network what you have been seen it in the example A. So this is a cyclic graph. So here they have been made it as an acyclic graph, that is the loops are going to be removed here, but all the vertices are going to be covered. Is it clear? All the spans are covered. Okay, but there is no cycles at all, there is no loops at all. So that is what you are going to be call it as a corresponding spanning tree. Is it clear? Now if you are going to see, this is the one of the network here. Is it clear? So in this network also you are having a the number of these particular bridges are there. Is it clear? Each bridge is going to be connecting to the ethernet segments. Okay, so here you are having a lot of cycles are there. If you are going to see this, if you are going to view it as a graph, you are having see b1 b6 and b4, this is cycle will be there. So frames are going to be circulating in this manner. Okay, so you can see that b1 b2 b3 and b5, here the cycle is there. b1 b7 and b5, the cycle is there. Is it clear? So when the loops are going to be presented, the frames is going to be circulating there only. There is no end for that a particular frame. Is it clear? There is no end that when the once a frame is going to be transmitted, it has to stop somewhere else. Is it clear? So continuously they are going to be circulating. So that's why you are going to constructing the network, that is with the help of a spanning tree, where that is where you are going to cover all the vertices but with no cycles. Okay, now this problem is addressed by having the bridges runs as a distributed spanning tree algorithm. So, okay, so if you think of the extended LAN as being represented by a graph that possibly has a loops or the cycles are there, okay, then a spanning tree is a subgraph of that particular graph that covers all the vertices, but no cycles. Okay, the spanning tree algorithm was developed by the Rady Perlman at the Digital Equipment Corporation. Okay, so it is a protocol used by a set of bridges, that is they are going to agree upon a spanning tree for a particular extended LAN. So here you are having a set of bridges are there, they are all going to be agree upon on the spanning tree. Okay, that is for a particular extended LAN. What is the idea behind the implementation of this particular spanning tree? Is it clear? So the main idea of the spanning tree is for the bridges to select the ports over which they will forward the frames. Is it clear? Each bridge has to select the ports. Okay, so whether on that port the frames has to be forwarded or not. Is it clear? So the spanning tree is for the bridges to select the ports for which they will forward the frames. The algorithm select the ports as follows. How you are going to selecting the ports, that on that ports only the bridge has to forward the frames. Is it clear? The question is that how you are going to select these particular ports. Now each bridge is having an unique identifier, or call it as a ID for the bridges. We are going to label it as a, say for example, in this B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7 are the IDs or the identifier which is assigned to each bridge which is connected in this extended LAN. Is it clear? Now each bridge is connecting to the Ethernet segments. Okay, you just see that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, okay, J. So these are all, so okay, these are all what you call it as Ethernet segments are there. If you are going to see that B2 is connecting to the two Ethernet segments C and E, B3 is connecting to A and C, B5 is connecting to A and B, B7 is connecting to the Ethernet segment B, K, and okay, so B6 is connecting to G and I. Okay, B4 is connecting to I, J, okay, H. So B1 is connecting to E, F, G and H. So this is how these particular the bridges are going to be connected to the Ethernet segments. Okay, now the algorithm first is going to be elect one of the particular bridge as a root node. The question is that whom you are going to be electing, okay, as a root node among all these particular bridges here. One of the bridge is going to be elect as a root node. So to whom you are electing? The node which is having a smallest ID, the node which is having a smallest ID. So that node is going to be elected as the root node of this particular spanning tree. Okay, exactly how this election takes place is described. Okay, the root bridge always forward frames out over all of its ports. Only the root bridge here, only the node which is elected as a root bridge, is it clear? Only that bridge is having an authority to forward the frame over all the ports, or all the ports it is going to forward the frames. Okay, each bridge is going to compute the shortest part to the route. Now all other bridges which are presented in this particular the network, what they are going to do, they have to connect to the root bridge. How they have to connect, which is the shortest path? So every node is going to be computing the shortest path to reach to the route, and note that which of its port is on this particular path. Is it clear? So while finding the shortest path to reach to that port, they are identifying on which port, okay, will fall on this particular path to reach to the port. Okay, on that port only they are forwarding the frames. That is, the frame should reach to the road. This part is also selected as the bridge's preferred path to the route. Okay, finally all the bridges are connecting to the given LAN. Okay, they are going to elect a single designated bridge that is responsible for forwarding the frames um, towards the route bridge. Okay, each LAN's designated bridge is the one that is closest to the route. Oh, so in this here you are going to see that in this LAN the bridge is the selected that which is closest to the route. So that bridge is allowed to forward the particular frames to the route bridge. Okay, so if two or more bridges are equally close to the route, so among that which bridge is selected for forward the frames, then the bridge identifiers are used here. Okay, the bridge with the smallest ID will be chosen to forward the frames to the route when both the bridges are having a same distance to that particular the route bridge. Okay, then you consider the identifiers, that is IDs of the bridge which is used to break the ties, and the smallest ID, the bridge with the smallest ID wins. So the bridge is have to exchange the configuration messages. Initially this is a cyclic graph will be there, then you have to run the spanning tree algorithm. Okay, and then you have to decide that which port of that particular the bridges has to be disabled and all. Okay, you have to cover all the vertices and all, but there should not be any cycles. So this one has to be implemented, the algorithm has to be executed here. So for that, what they are going to do, each the bridge which is presented here, they are going to exchange some configuration messages with each other. Then they decide whether or not they are the root node or a designated bridge based on this particular message. So the message which they are going to be exchanging here, okay, the message is going to be contains three pieces of information. One is the ID for the bridge, okay, that is sending the message. The bridge which is sending the message, that bridge ID will be there, and the ID for what the sending bridge believes that to be the root bridge, okay, and the bridge to whom it has believed the root bridge, that root bridge ID is going to be presented in that. And what is the distance from that node to the root node, so it is going to be measured in terms of the hops. Is it clear? That is from sending bridge to the root bridge. So this is the three informations is going to be presented in the configuration message. That is the message which is transmitted by the bridge, so that the bridge ID and to whom it has believed it as a root node, that root ID, and what is the distance from sender to the root node. So that is in terms of the hop. So this is the message what you call it as a configuration message. So this configuration message is going to be created by each and every node which is going to be connected in this particular network. Every bridge is going to be configure this particular message, and they are going to forward it on all the outgoing ports. Now you are going to see the working process. Okay, working process starts in this way, that each bridge is going to initially think that it is a root node. Is it clear? Because it doesn't know how many number of other bridges are presented in this extended LAN. Is it clear? What is their idea and all. So initially each bridge, while transmitting the configuration message, itself it believes that it is the root node. Is it clear? And itself that the distance between the root node is 0. Is it clear? So in this way each bridge is going to think that it is the root node and it is sending the message, and distance to root node is 0. So it sends the configuration message on out on each of its particular ports, okay, identifying itself as the root and giving a distance to the root of 0. Now the other nodes which are connected here, the other bridges which are connected, okay, when the message is going to be forwarded on all the outgoing ports of the bridge, now on the other side the bridges which are connected here, they are going to receiving this particular configuration message over a particular port. Okay, now the bridge is going to check, okay, whether the new message is better than the current best configuration message recorded for that particular port. So already, say for example, it is having on the message, or already it has configured the message saying that I am the root and distance to root is 0, okay, and immediately it is receiving a message from the another one bridge, then it is going to comparing which one is the better message. Is it clear how it is going to be conferring? The new configuration message is considered better, okay, uh, than the currently recorded information. So for that, what it is going to do, it is going to identifies the root with the smaller ID. First thing it is going to check is that what is the ID of the root node. Is it clear? So in both the messages it is going to check the ID of the root node. So it is going to select the root node with the smaller ID. So in the message, the where the idea of the root is a smaller one, so that is going to be considered as a better. Okay, along with that here, two more points are there, that is identifying the root with the smaller ID. This is the first point, okay, and second one point is that if identifies the root with an equal ID but with a shorter distance. Okay, in both the messages you have identified that both the messages what you have received, they have identified the root node as the same. Is it clear? But among that, which side which message you are going to be considered, that on which the port you want to forward, that is to through which bridge you wanted to forward, is decided based on the distance here. Is it clear? In both the messages you identified that root with the equal ID. Both the messages they have identified the root with the equal ID. Okay, there is no problem. But what is the distance here? Which side is the shortest distance? On which side I have to select the path to forward the message. So this is selected based on the shorter distance. When the route with an equal id is going to be identified on the messages which you have been received. The third one is that, okay, the route id and the distance both are equal. Here you have received the messages from two different bridges here, okay. So in that messages both have confirmed that the route bridge, the route id both have confirmed same, and the distance is also same. Among that, which bridge you are selecting to forward the message? So it is depend upon the id, okay. The id, the bridge id which is the smallest one, okay. So that bridge you are going to select for forwarding the frames. Among these two you are selecting the bridge with the smaller id, okay. Now if the new messages is better than the currently recorded information, the bridge discards the old information and saves the new information, okay. So this is the one here how it is going to be implemented, okay. Now whenever a bridge receives the configuration message indicating that it is not the root bridge, that is a message from the bridge with a smaller id, the bridge stops generating configuration message on its own. Instead only forward the configuration message from the other bridges after adding one to the distance field, okay. So if you identified that, okay, there is a one smaller id that you already accepted as a bridge, then you are going to forwarding the message saying that, okay, I have accepted this as the root bridge and distance from this is a one hope. So in this way you are going to forwarding the messages to all other the ports. Is it clear? On the outgoing ports you are going to forward this. Is it clear? So indicating that I already identified the root bridge with the smallest id, so you can reach the bridge through me. So distance from me to root bridge is one hope or two hope, whatever it may be, you are representing the distance over, and in this way you are going to forwarding the message, okay. So likewise, when a bridge receives a configuration message that indicate it is not the uh, designated bridge for that port, so that is a message from the bridge that is closer to the route or equally far from the route but will be smaller id, the bridge stops sending configuration message over that port, okay. Thus when the system stabilizes, only the root bridge is still generating the configuration message. When this particular process stabilizes, when the system stabilizes, all other bridges which are presented in this network stops transmitting the configuration message. Only one is transmitting the message, configuration message, that is the root node, that is the root bridge, okay. And other bridges are forwarding the messages only over the ports for which they are designated the bridges, okay. Now we are going to see that all the bridges would start off by claiming to be the root node. Now we are going to say that all the routes which are presented here, they are going to claiming that they are going to be the root node, and they are going to create a configuration message. So the configuration message here, it is of y comma d comma and x, okay. What do you mean by x? X, it claims to be the, that is x is the node which is transmitting or this particular configuration message. Y is to whom it has believed as a root node. D is the distance from the x to the root node. Is it clear? So that is y comma d comma x. This is the configuration message. Y is going to be representing the root node, okay, to whom it is going to claiming it as a root node. X is the node to which has configured this message and transmitting. D is the distance from x node to the, that is the root node y, okay. Now we are going to start it here. Say for example here b2 is in this diagram, you just see it here, okay. All the nodes are going to be configuring. So now you imagine that b2 is the bridge which is going to creating one configuration message, okay, stating that b2 comma 0 b2. What it indicates, this message is transmitted by the b2 on all the outgoing ports, okay, stating that claiming that b2 itself is a root node and the distance is 0. Is it clear? So this message is going to be transmitted on all the outgoing ports, okay. So this message is received by the b3. Is it clear? This message is received by the b3. Is it clear? So B2 is transmitting on the outgoing port, that is through the segment C and E. So B3 is also connecting to the segment C, so it is going to receive the messages of B2. So B3 is going to compare this particular message. So in this here, the ID of the root node, what it is claiming is the B2, and in the B3's configuration message, it is claiming the root node as a itself initially B3. So now here the ID of B2 is smaller than the B3. So B3 is going to accept B2 as the root node. Is it clear? So B3 add 1 to the distance advertising and saying that it is going to send a message, that is B3 1 B2, indicating that the configuration message generated by the B3, okay, it has believed that there is a one smallest ID bridge called as a B2. I have believed it as a root node, and distance to that root node is 1. So in this way it is going to forward it on the outgoing lines. So this message is going to received by the B5. Okay, so in the similarly all others are going to be circulating. Okay, now so when B5 is going to receive this, so what it is going to do, it is going to compare that the ID what it has been believed. B5 is going to be compare that the root ID. So here it is going to compare that, okay, root ID B2 is smaller than its B5, so it is also going to accepting B2 as the root node. Okay, and then it is going to forward the message. Is it clear? So that is B5 and the distance is 2 and it has believed the root node is B2. Is it clear? So in this way it is forwarding it to all the outgoing LANs. At the same time, B1 is also going to be generating the configuration message stating that it is the root node. So that is the B1 comma 0 B1. So that message is circulated on all the outgoing LANs. So the message circulated by B1 is received by the B2, B5, B7, B6 and B4. Okay, all which are directly connected here, everyone is going to receive this particular the information. Everyone starts comparing. So here it is that B2 is going to compare this particular message. Okay, now here what happens here, the B2 accepts B1 as the root because it has a lower ID, and then immediately it is going to update its configuration message and send to all the outgoing lines stating that I have believed B1 as the root node and distance from me is 1 hop. So if anyone they want to transfer, they can send to me. So distance from me to root node is 1 hop. In this way B1 comma 1 comma B2, this message is transmitted towards B3. Is it clear? Now B3 is going to receive this message stating that, okay, yes, B2 itself has recognized B1 as a root node, and then it is going to update its distance saying that, okay, so to B to B1 is the root node and the distance from B3 to B1 is 2 hops. In this way it is going to configure the message and then it is going to circulate on the other nodes, that is sent to B5. But at the same time B5 is receiving the message from the B1 stating that B1 is the as a root node. Okay, and immediately B5 is also going to change its configuration message. In that it is stating that I have accepted B1 as the root node because it is the smallest ID. So distance from me is 1 hop. So that is B5 to B1 is 1 hop. So then this message is also transmitted towards a B3. Now B5 is transmitting this message towards a B3. Is it clear? Now B3 accepts B1 as a root node and it's note that both the messages are arriving here. B2 is also sending the message stating that B1 is the root node, distance from me is 1 hop. B5 is also sending that B1 is the root node, I accepted, distance from me is 1 hop. So B3 is receiving the message from B2 and B5 stating both the B1 as the root node. Is it clear? Now immediately B3 stops forwarding the messages on both of its interfaces. Is it clear? B3 stops creating the configuration message and immediately it stops forwarding the message. Is it clear? Because already B2 and B5 have having a distance with 1 hop. Okay, and B2 is connecting to the segment C directly and B5 is also connecting to the segment A directly. So what there is no use of that particular B3 to send because distance from B2 to B1 is 1 hop and B5 to B1 is 1 hop. Is it clear? So B5 the segment A can able to send the information through the B5, and segment C is able to send the information to the bridge B2 to root bridge B1. So both the nodes is it clear? So B3 what it is going to do? So both the ports it is going to disable. So that is it is going to remove the cycle here. Okay, you just see it here, it is going to remove the cycle. So B3 what it is going to do, both the ports it is going to be disabled. Okay, so in the similarly here, okay, in the similarly here, so if you are going to see B5 and B7 both are also going to be accepting that B1 as the root node, and the distance from each is 1 hope. Is it clear? So at that time, okay, so here what happens here, it is that when the message is going to receive at B5 and B7, okay, so the segment B, whether it has to connect to B7 or whether it has to connect to B5, so both are having the same distance to the root node 1 hope, and both have accepted the root node as a B1. So among that the tie is going to be occur. So based on that, the node which is having a smaller ID, okay, so in this B5 and B7, B5 is having the smaller ID, so B5 is having an authority to send the information on the segment B. So B7 is going to disable the port which is going to forward the frames towards the segment B. So B7 will never forward the frames on the segment B, it is going to disable. In the same way, when you come the downside, okay, B6 and B4 both have received the message transmitted by the B1, and they have accepted that B1 is the root node because it is a smaller ID, and distance is also 1 hope from B6 to B1 and B4 to B1. Is it clear? Now the question here it is that the segment I is connected to B6 as well as it is connected to B4. Now who is having an authority to send the frames here? Okay, now you just see it here. Okay, so G is the segment which is directly connected to the B1. So there is no need of the B6 the port here, okay, which is connected over there. Okay, so G is directly connected to the B1, so automatically what happens here, the nodes B6 is going to disable the port which is connecting to G. It is not going to forward any particular the frames on the segment G. Now when you come to the I here, so I is directly connected to B4. So if you consider the B6 and B4 here, is it clear? If you consider B6 and B4, okay, so smaller one is the B4 ID. So B4 is having an authority to transfer the frames on the segment I. So B6 is going to disable both its ports. One is that I segment, so that comparison between B6 and B4 is having a smaller ID, so B4 wins and it is going to send a frames to the I segment. So B6 disable the ports which will not able to send on a I. And next one is that it is not able to send the frames on the G because G is directly connected to B1. There is no use of that particular port. So B6 is going to disable all its ports. It has removed the cycle. Now you can see that there is a cycle has been removed in between the this, that is the G, H, I and the J. There is no cycle at all. So in this, if you are going to say that C, B, D and A, these are all the segments are there, there is no cycle at all. Here you can see that B, D, F and K, so there is no cycle at all. So in this way here, this spanning tree is going to be executed. Is it clear? So in this way here you are going to remove the cycles from this particular the cyclic graph, then you are going to make it as a spanning tree with some of the ports not selected. That is where you are going to make it as a disable. Okay, so this is all about the spanning tree. Okay, thank you very much.